Good afternoon everyone. So today we're at a Nissan Qashqai Plus 2 and this is a pure drive DCI. So the customer's complaint with this one, it broke down and it was recovered back to the workshop. And as you can hear, the fan is running. I think that's a sign. So I actually just jumped in the scan before I even plugged in the scan tool because I was told it was a non-start. So I just started it and it did start and it stalled. It'll hardly crank over because that fan's running. I managed to get it to scan. I put a jump pack on it because that fan's running and I cannot get it to stop. Neither can I get my hand down to unplug it. But here's a couple of things. The ECM is greyed out. TCM is greyed out because it's a manual gearbox, so that's alright. AV is greyed out. I don't know what that is. Let me see. No equipped transmission, multi-AV, it needs that. So something going on here. So let's go into IPDM, see what it's complaining. Can communication starter motor, rear starter motor. So the starter motor works. So we can rule that out, but maybe can communication. ABS, can communication. EPS, can communication. Can communication, BCM. Can communication and chain off BCM, ECM. So it's complaining it can't talk to the ECM, so let's just clear out these fault codes and see if it comes back. I mean, it ain't going to start if that's greyed out, there's no way. So let's try cranking it again. She did crank over and she did start. You see that nothing on the dashboard, so let's see if we can see. Oh, we're fighting against a bad battery here. ECM, let's go enter. No comm immediately. I had to turn the key off to stop that fan from turning. But never mind. Here is the, I think that's the ECM down the front there. So maybe we could just unplug that and look for water ingress. I'm looking, when I was standing here, it started and stalled, and when I got out after a couple of minutes, then the fan started. So it was like it had lost communication, then the fan would kick in. So this problem was really intermittent. So let's take off some of these connectors and see if I can see anything there. So I've disconnected all these multi-plugs, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So that's a separate little ECU at the front. So with that disconnected, let's go and rescan it and see if we can get something to happen here. I've also disconnected this one, which may be the fan. I'm not sure. We'll know when we turn the key. Turn the key. Oh, no. The fan's still on, so it's not that one. I've managed to disconnect the one down the bottom there. See that orange tab? So let's see if that's the one. That's good. Now no longer a fan. So I don't know what this one is. So with the ECM disconnected and the fan not running, let's do a rescan. And obviously we'll not get the ECM, but let's see if any other recover, like the AV or HLA, whatever that is. I don't know. We'll just wait to the end. So disconnecting that, the ECM made no difference because you see we still haven't got the AV, HLL, SB, RC, and let's do it all-wheel drive. So can I talk to that? RC rear view camera, I don't know if it's got that. HLL, headlamp leveler, don't know. Blind camera, don't know if it's got that. And multi-AV. And then the meter, I don't know what AV is. That the AV system? Well, see up here it's got system is locked, please enter pin. Is that anything to do with it? I wouldn't think so. So let's plug our ECM back in and see if that does anything. So plug the ECM back in, crank, still no start. So, what other checks can we make here? Now, I just cleared the fault code out the IPDM. Oh, there it's there's the thing just went away again. Watch this. So read fault code. Right, if I go back, so it's U1000. If I clear this fault code, yes, I heard the pump run. That's not doing it now. I cleared that fault. It cleared, and then the engine started, and then it cut out. The other thing, when I crank this over, you see that little key symbol? Oh no, it stayed out. I was getting a little key symbol down there. So, I think we need to go and do our homework here. Look, the airbag light's flashing and everything. Now, I believe just next to the battery is IPDM. So I've just had a quick look at that, and I think if you can see the ledger on the side of it, there's a hard shot. It says there injector, ABS, ECU, fuel pump, AC compressor, EMCU, ECU. So that's for the fuses. And I think this is like a power distribution. I think they can be a culprit as well. Looks like a bit of water in the bottom there. Or is it glue maybe? Now this is another day. I tried to get a wiring diagram for this, but it was very difficult. None of them are right. So I actually watched Ryan Milligan's, one of his videos. He had a similar system and he was having problems with the fuel pump. But what I will tell you about this car, see when you're sitting in it, every so often you just hear the fuel pump prime and then you can start the thing. But I still haven't been able to get communication when that happens. So it seems to me like it's an ECU, an intermittent ECU problem. So, as I said to you, I watched Ryan's video, Milligan Auto Services, and what he did was he just took a little test light to battery ground and put it in there, and this is a fuel pump relay. So I can actually hear the fuel pump. Oh. I can hear the fuel pump run, but the thing will still no start. So it ain't grounding this relay, but I think we've got other problems here. And indeed, this ECU is dead, because I've got my multimeter on, and I just took this first sensor here and I ran along the pins. Now I've not got any voltage. I should be getting at least 5 volts or something on these pins. I'm not getting anything, so there's a relay up there. Not sure what that's for, but I believe the ECU relay is integral within part of this box here. So I'm going to go after fuse 15. It says EMCU, ECU. So I take it that's the engine management computer. And that's down the bottom there. See that? One on the right hand side, the 2 red ones down the bottom. So you can see that fuse 15 down the bottom there has got power on it. So it's good. That's plug number 1. Right, and they go 80Q and 1 to 4 up the sides. So it's 1 to 4 that way and 80Q that way. So that's number 1. And that's plug number 2, tells you that in the middle, so this must be 3. And I don't know what this one is. Now this multi-plug here just goes from A to M, 1 to 4. And the rest are, they're 80Q, 80Q. See what this one is. And number 3 is A to H, 1 to 4. Right, this has been a hard one. I've got diagrams for everywhere for this machine, and none of them are quite accurate. But here's what I did find out. See this blue wire going into the air mass meter? It's on pin 3. That is fed for the relay, wherever that is. So we reckon that's... The diagram showed it was external, but I think it's part of the IPDM. Because this relay here, I'm sure, is for the glow plugs. This one here. So what I'm going to do, put the key on and see if indeed we've got 12 volts.
And if we don't get 12 volts on that, we'll feed it 12 volts and see if that feeds the rest of the relay circuit. Some of them showed it as a one-stage relay, others showed it as a 2-output relay. So we'll wait and see. So let's get our battery charger on. So that's the key on, and you can see we've got 0.22 volts. And you can't even hear the computer thing me up. So what I'll do is, we'll take that and we'll feed it right into that circuit. So with me feeding into that circuit, going right into the blue wire of the multimeter, the computer has came to life. I'll let you hear it once the traffic stops. Ignition on. You hear that coming to life? It does. Let's crank it. So there you go. We're feeding that circuit. The motor's now running. So we're now going to trace back and see where that relay is. Because that ECU is good. Well, I'm saying it's good. The only thing it could be is within the ECU, the driver to pull down the relay, or what else? The relay or the wiring. So that proved we weren't getting a feed, or the relay wasn't getting grounded. Either way, we're one step forward. So you can see we're scanning the car and the ECM is back online. We'll just see what code it has. Probably one of these CAN codes. Let's just look at systems list. Main relay control circuit. That's because I've bypassed the relay. But at least it's running, it's talking. And see all the rest of these codes. IPA, it's moved into the past. ABS, or just, it doesn't say it's the past. EPA, EPS, past, SRS, oh, don't worry about that. IC, that's in the past, and the BCM. We've still got that current BCM, ECM. Let's see if we can clear them out, see if it comes back. So you can see it's cleared out the rest of the codes, so we're just left with the one in the ECM, which is complaining about the main relay. Imagine it's a relay at the end of the day. That'd be tragic. It's trying to find where the thing is though. And then the SRS. So bit of a obscure code, I would say. Bit of generic code. So let's go to the next stage. Find the thing. So in order to make the car cut out, all you do is, there we go. That's your switch. Right, with me with my feed in, try to trace this wire. What, carry on. So if I remove my feed into this big relay here, which I think is the glow plug relay, it also feeds the glow plug relay. See that? Right. And if I take my probe and put it down there, there's a feed there, but that's not for that bypass. But then I put that in there and I can hear a relay clicking, but I do not know where it is. It's not in this box, so it must be somewhere further down. I don't know. The other thing I'm noticing here actually, see these relays, maybe it's one of these two. See the marks on these relays? It's actually like it's got a little hole in it. These are notorious for failing these. I think they've got written NATS on them or something, NATS. So I've had them fail on me before. Somebody's been here before. Still can't track it. Right, I've got my little power probe plugged into this thing. This wire tracer. So you can see it's got a short circuit, right? So that means circuit integrity because it's going right for there, right into the air mass meter, right? So it's finding a ground, isn't it? But when I disconnect this thing up here, we then go to an open circuit. So this guy has to be the relay. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pins. Am I missing something here? Because when you plug them back in, watch this, it goes to short circuit. No, unless I'm at the other side of the relay and it's open. Maybe that's what the case is. You can see that circuit is pulling approximately 2 amps. So, take that off. Let's zero it. One and a half amps. So let's stop the car and see what she keeps pulling. This is a real head scratcher where the relay is. So engine shut down. We hear the ECU booting back up. Probably because of the fault code, so let's see what we're actually pulling on that circuit. Oh, quite negligible, isn't it? Maybe this is the answer. We'll pull it off. It's hardly pulling anything. Put it back in. If we open the car door, let's see if it jumps into action. There you go, it does. So I had to phone the main dealer to find out where the relay for this engine management system was. And believe it or no, that's them right there, there's 4 relays. So what a place to put it. Probably need to take the headlight out. Let's see if we can get it then. Now it helps to read the ledger on here, so ECM 1 and 2. So that's the 2 fuses there, the blue fuses. We also have headlamp wash, no got that PTC 1 and 2, fuel heater, you name it. And as you can see, we've got the cover off that one, and I still can't get to it. So I think we need to take the bumper off it in order to get to these ones. Throw the bumper forward a wee bit to get the headlight out. But wait to see what I can see in there. Oh, there's a relay hanging down. It looks like it's got crusty bits on it. Oh my goodness. It looks the right colour. Blue and red. And the green one looks a bit crispy, I would say. So that's that brown relay. Now that's better access once you take the light out. There that's them all hanging there. Like a punny mince, as we would say here in Scotland. So let's figure out this. I think it's this one. I think it's meant to be in a case and in there. I'm into the blue wire there. Sorry. I hope you can see that. I'm into the blue wire. I've got my probe in. So that's detecting 12 volts, right? So if I take my connection and pull it, it disconnects and the fan should come on. There we go. And if I give that 12 volts, the fan goes off and the car should start. So it means the relay is good between here and going up to the computer near mass meter. So maybe it's the ground side that's the issue. Put that back in, the fan stops. If the wiring diagram's right, the green wire, that should be the ground for the relay, right? So if I put my probe into that, believe me, there we go, it's like coming and going, but it's no ground in that relay. You can see there actually my little test light is lit, and the green wire is providing a ground to that relay, because I'm at battery positive. So that's interesting, no unless it's just a totally corroded base. Now there's that relay that I've found. So the green is, doesn't show you on that. The green, well, the green's through the relay side, the magnetic side, and the blue and the red are outputs, right? So that's pulling it down to the ground. So we need to check to see if we've got 3 inputs on the other colour wires. Every wire except green, red and blue we need to check, because they come for the 2 fuses in that fuse box. So we need to see if there's power on each of these wires, but I can't hear they really click when I draw it to ground. I think that'll be our problems, ladies and gentlemen. The green crusties. Look at the state of that. That needs a new relay base. Problem will be solved. So there we go. Each of the white wires have 12 volts in them, because my test light lights. And there's no output if I don't have my bypass in. So the relay is not working. It's corroded beyond belief. So, and we know that the green wire is grounding it, so the relays went to pot inside. Let's order up a new relay. And if it's no here, I'll just give you a thumbs up and all is well. Well, I think it needs a relay and a base. You can see that relay. I'm going through the primary windings, so you can see that we've got an open circuit, or it's above 9,999 ohms, which is not a good sign. Anyway, so you can see I went into pins 1 and 2. You can see there, pins 1 and 2 are the primary side of that relay. And you didn't even get a clicking when you give it power underground. Here's a good way of actually checking the relay. So we should have 5 powers in the ground, and I've put a wee bridging wire in, so I'll just show you that. Light. We go every wire except the green. So that's my bridging wire in here. So look, that one lights, that one lights, that one lights, that one obviously lights. Don't try the green, and then this is the feed for the. So they all light. They're all good. And that's the ground side, and we know that ground, so the very fact that they're all lighting means good. So as I said to you, there's my bridging wire. Saves me putting it up the top there anymore.